dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we have some breaking news out of Johnson County. The search for a missing 17 and 3-year-old in the Chandlersville area near the Johnson-Lawrence County line is over. We have just learned they were found safe in Sandy Hook, which is a pretty good distance away in Elliott County. Emergency management officials began searching after the two were last seen on a yellow ATV. Now, we do have a reporter at the scene and hope to have a report from her with new information coming up at 5:30. 3 inmates remain on the run after escaping from the Kentucky River Regional Jail. Kenneth Spurlock, James Reed, and Stephen Smith got their hands on a pair of keys and made a run for it just before 6 last night. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on the search and investigation.
Yeah, it was a brazen escape by 4 inmates at the Kentucky River Regional Jail just before 6 o'clock Monday evening. Officials tell us 4 inmates obtained a set of keys and escaped from the jail, running across the Hazard Walmart parking lot where they actually caught one of those inmates. This is actually viewer-submitted video of that one inmate being caught. The other 3 made it across the Walmart parking lot, across Highway 80, across this gravel, and down the hill into the Airport Gardens section of Hazard. Officials say the 3 inmates who are still on the loose are not considered to be dangerous. They were in on drug offenses. However, they say that they are looking desperately for these 3 men.
Well, and if you're living in the Glomar area, the Walkertown area, that's 2 areas that we know that they've got access to, that they've been seen in. So we're hoping that we can locate them.
Now, officials say the deputy who was responsible for the set of keys that the inmates obtained has been placed on administrative leave. One of those inmates has been caught and is back in the Kentucky River Regional Jail. The Kentucky State Police is in charge of this investigation along with help from the Hazard Police Department. Anyone with information is asked to call State Police Post 13 here in Hazard as to where the 3 inmates might be. They say right now there is no threat to the community, just hoping to find these 3 inmates. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And the jail is on lockdown today as a result of that escape. A golden alert was issued for a London man earlier today. Take a look at this picture of 65-year-old Glenn D. Bailey. He was last seen on North Mill Street July 1st around 10 a.m. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say Bailey has onset dementia and liver disease. He requires daily medication, which he does not have access to. Bailey is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall, 180 pounds, with gray hair and a mustache. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt, blue hat, blue-gray shorts, and blue tennis shoes. Police say he might be in a red Pontiac Grand Am. If you see Bailey, you should call 911. It's been 25 years since a young woman and her half-brother were murdered and their bodies dumped in a Pulaski County field. The victims were 21-year-old Linda Gibson and 4-year-old Cody Lee Garrett. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Gibson's brother on their quest for justice.
July 7th, 1994 was a day much like today, very hot and humid. And that day there was a terrible discovery made on a fence line not far from here, just on the edge of the Village Green subdivision. A 21-year-old woman, her 4-year-old half-brother, found dead. Police say they had been murdered.
Well, Linda, she come up here to this little convenient mart here quite often. She would walk up here.
Linda Gibson and Cody Lee Garrett had just left that store and were walking on Bourne Avenue on July 3rd, 1994. Witnesses saw them get into a car, and Clayton Gibson says they were never seen alive again.
Yeah, we was scared that, that maybe the bodies never would be found.
But 4 days later, they were found in a fence row about 2 miles away. And 2.5 decades later, no one has been arrested. The FBI has been called in, and it's even drawn some national attention, but still no one has been charged. Gibson says he believes more than one person is responsible.
I think people knows more than what they say, because they was afraid to talk about it.
The time that has passed would indicate this is a cold case, but police tell me they don't treat it that way. Their detectives work on this weekly. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Police say they are still not sure of the motive, but they do believe the 4-year-old was killed because he witnessed what was done to his older sister and could identify the killer or killers.
Well, it's definitely a hot and humid one out there. I think everyone that has come in from work today has constantly told me it's very hot and humid. So trust me, I know. We'll go ahead and take a look at a few of those cameras. You're looking over into the WYNT studio. We're seeing a few clouds here and there, but overall, we've seen those mostly sunny skies. And looking over into Jackson, 88 degrees there with a few clouds. Those dew points into the lower 70s, feeling like 94 degrees. And if you're not a fan of the heat and humidity, well, you're not going to be a big fan as we head into your Wednesday. We'll get into that in just a second. But you're seeing those upper 80s to lower 90s for some, showing a 93 in Hazard and Richmond, 90 looking down into Jacksboro, 91 in Jonesville, 88 down into Williamsburg. But feeling like about the low to mid 90s out there. It's definitely very hot, definitely very humid, and those feels like temperatures will really increase as we head into tomorrow. But satellite and radar overall, we have been quiet. We've seen a few pop-up showers and storms really around the Kentucky into the Virginia border, and as we scan the skies now, looking at a few, you can see one in Letcher County, Pike County, Dickinson, Buchanan County over into Virginia as well, but most of us definitely on the drier side. So the heat and humidity really increase once again as we head into tomorrow. Cold front rise though hopefully cools us off, and then will we be looking at a nice weekend ahead? I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. Retired Marine fighter pilot Amy McGrath is running for U.S. Senate. She's taking aim at Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. McGrath released a video this morning talking about why she's entering the race. She says Kentuckians are being ignored in Washington. She also blamed much of the gridlock and problems in the nation's capital on McConnell. This is not her first run for Congress. Last year, she lost to Representative Andy Barr in the election for the 6th District congressional seat. Senator McConnell's team is already launching a website opposing McGrath. Hazard Community and Technical College has a new program starting this fall. Since the announcement of DashCorps coming to Perry County, training for manufacturing and engineering technology is needed. The Manufacturing Engineering Technician Associate of Applied Science program is designed to prepare students for specific jobs that DashCorps will offer. The focus will be in operations management, maintenance, and repair, along with other certificates. HCTC will be adding 2 new professors to its staff.
When you're at a small rural college, you have to think of programs that are meet the needs of a variety of different jobs and opportunities for students, and this program has that.
Classes at HCTC begin August 19th. DashCorps is expected to begin operations at the end of 2019, bringing more than 250 full-time jobs to Perry County. Let's head over to Wall Street now. This Tuesday afternoon, the Dow closes down today more than 22 points. Well, there is a new place you can enjoy Taco Tuesday, Burger King. Yes, Burger King is now selling its new crispy taco for $1. The taco features a crunchy tortilla, seasoned ground beef, cheddar cheese, lettuce, and taco sauce. The tacos were first tested in the western states, but it was so successful the chain is launching it nationwide for a limited time. Straight ahead on First at 4, a well-known Texas billionaire and former presidential candidate has died. We'll remember the life of Ross Perot.
And the heat and humidity continue, but rain on Thursday could cool us down a little bit. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.
It's Kentucky.